Here's the yeah. It's not too bad. Let's see that. We'll try the bit for something lunch. A lot of gear in your car. You can bring it down, maybe? Oh, yeah. Concentration of gold in this whole area is going to be just on the crest of this bar. Just up in this area here. Shallow concentration near the surface, you get a better chance of finding the gold particle in their pan. Now there's 3 screens on this, which are really diamond screens used by diamond miners in South America. Our purpose is simply a screen to get rid of some of the gravel. So we have a finer material to hand that, and to get rid of a lot of the pebbles and stuff. If this were a diamond screen, you'd look in here for diamonds, and if you had coarse gold in the creek, you'd look here to see if there were any nuggets or any pieces of rock that had gold in them. So it's a quick way to check to see what's happening. And a diamond miner would look once, and then look again in here for the heavy ones that are on the top of the pile. That is, the heavy material works down to the bottom of the screen, rests on the screen, and when you flip it, the bottom layer of gravel lies on the top of the pile, so that you can see the diamonds, which are deep, and any gold particles. These screens are designed after the ones used in South America, which are really borrowed from the agricultural industry. You've probably seen Jose Martinez throwing his gold and coffee beans in Colombia into the air. It's the same thing that they use for coffee beans to separate the wheat from the chaff, for the beans from the waste that the diamond miners use. And again, you look in the middle for the diamonds in this area, or the nuggets. You bring everything into the center, and you do a little bit of jigging beyond that point, like that, then make a separate pile. And again, you check in here to see whether there was anything very shiny or very metallic. Now there are diamonds finer than the smallest screen, which in this case is 1 millimeter, but those diamonds aren't economic. They have to be big enough to be cut into a stone that has some value. And the small ones like this just don't count. But at this point, when you start seeing a concentrate, and in fact there are some black heavies on the bottom, all through there. And there's a little bit of garnet. See the red pieces? Those are the heavy minerals that work right down to the screen. So when you flip them, they rest on the top of the pile. Any nuggets or any diamonds will be just in that top layer, roughly in the center of the pile. Now the material that we have to pan is really about a quarter of what we started with. essentially that loosens the gravel or sand. In this case, it loosens the sand and lets the gold work down into the tip of the cone. Once we've shaken it up so that everything gets to settle, then we can wash off some of the material on the surface, and we know we're not losing the gold. And it's a very gentle washing motion, not like the North American pan where you have to lift the pan and work with it. In this case, you let it float and you push it and pull it around the surface, making just a slight dipping motion to bring water into the pan, but at all times the sand is loose. It's never packed. And if you check the North American pan, you find that before too long the material is packed so that you can't put your finger into the pile. Therefore, the gold can't move down into the bottom of the pan. By shaking it this way, washing with a continual tilting and swirling motion, you can remove all the material, which is the brown sand you see on the edge of the pan right now. And as we continue, well, there's a couple pebbles there. Shouldn't be there. Contamination on my part. But at this point, we begin to see the black sand concentrate along with some red sand, the garnets, and the gold we hope right down on the bottom of the pile. Now, this sand in the Don Valley is especially suited for demonstrating this. You see several different colors there. You see the light brown quartz sand, you see the black silicates, then the red silicates, which are heavier than the black ones, finally the black oxides, the magnetite and the ilmenite, which is heavier still. So that you can see how the pan operates. You see the heaviest stuff here at the leading edge of the pan, and if there were gold, it would be just at the edge of that black line, and grading away from the black oxides, the black silicates, then the red silicates, and finally the brown quartz sand. And again, if they were gold, if they were coarse pieces, you'd see the gold just along the leading edge here as you wash, and if they were fine pieces, they'd all be in the tip of the pan. If there was a teaspoon of placer gold here, from coarse to fine, you'd find that teaspoon of material right down along the surface of the pan beneath this pile, and you'd see the coarse material out here and the fine material closer to the tip. So at this point, we're not looking for, well, we're looking to see if there's any nuggets, but we're expecting that the fine gold will stay back here in the tip of the pan. At this point, I'll take off my glasses. I don't see anything there. I'll get rid of that material. Repeat that swirling process with the remainder. Now you get everything up off the tip of the pan, slow down, and then tilt the pan, shake it. And that produces the spectrum, from the light quartz to the intermediate black silicates to the red silicates, finally to the black oxides. And the gold, if there were several particles, would be down along the bottom of this pile of sand. Coarse material here, the fine material here. So then we wash off the lighter material, looking for the bigger particles of gold. And easy, just repeat that process. Now there's a few tricks that help to concentrate the gold. One is when you swirl this material and dump it, if you pound the pan like this, you dry gold at the tip of the pan. So instead of spread along the bottom, the very, very fine gold, which may be so grained you can't see it with the naked eye, all that gold packs up into the tip of the pan. That looks like gold, but it's in the wrong place. It's moved too far up. It's probably a piece of rock particle that's stained brown. The gold would be right up close to my side of the black sand. Now there's enough concentrate in there to hold the fine gold that might be present. This part will wash off.
So did you see some color there when